Welcome back to Slinging Shots with Philip. Exciting news today. A couple of cool things happening. Before we get into that, make sure you like and subscribe to our channel. If you like what we're doing, we're having a good time building content for you. We are on our way to 1,000 subs. When we hit 1,000, we're going to have a giveaway. So there will be more on that in a couple of weeks when we do a video, and we're going to introduce that. First thing I want to tell you about is some real exciting news. When I was at the Midwest Spring Sling, one of my goals was to shoot good enough that I could get a little bit of attention. Hey, I'm a little competitive. Anyway, we talked to Nathan Masters, the guy that owns Simpleshot and makes so many great slingshots. They're the ones I shoot. And I was telling him about my basics series and some other things. And he says, we need to get you set up as a brand ambassador and get you an affiliate link. And I said, yes, sir, I'm down. And I'm happy to say that has now rolled out. So down in the description, I will have a link. If you're going to buy anything from Simpleshot, whether it's band tie-in tape or targets or latex or slingshots, that's what they're there for, right? Use my link. I'll get a little kickback from it, small commission, and I can pretty much tell you initially that money's going back into more stuff from Simpleshot. So I would appreciate you helping me out that way. I'm excited to be that brand ambassador. I shoot almost everything I do is Simpleshot. I have a couple of other slingshots that I'm learning, long draw and stuff like that, and pickle fork, and I ordered a custom pickle fork. But pretty much my main inventory are Simpleshot. I got two Axiom X's, which in my opinion are really cool, fully adjustable. I have them exactly set up the same width, same setup. So if I break a band on one, I can grab the other. I got two different latexes on them because I'm testing them against each other. So that's why they got different colors. I will be doing a video shortly with some comparisons on those. But anyway, please, if you're buying something from Simpleshot, use the link down below and help me out and help them out, and we'll both be thankful for it. Now, what we're actually here for is there's a story I want to tell. At the tournament, I met a young man, and I'm so glad I interviewed him. It's the only interview I did. So glad I interviewed him. His name is Dallas Martin. He's probably, I don't know his age. I didn't ask. Not my business. My guess would be mid-20s, early 30s, possibly. He's from Ohio. And on Friday, during the practice time, I ended up next to him at the practice range. And I'm shooting a shot, and I was keeping my eye out, out of the corner of my eye, watching what he was doing. And I swear every other shot or every third shot, he's hitting the frame. And his brand new frame, was a nice Simpleshot. I think it was the Scout X or the Scout, the bigger one. Had dents all over it already. It was brand new. He kept hitting the frame. Something was wrong. And he broke a set of bands and he put some more on. I said, something's wrong. Let me watch what you're doing. So I turned around and kept an eye on him. First thing I noticed, he was holding the pouch wrong. He was pinching in front of the ammo instead of on the ammo. Tried to show him how to fix that. Helped a little bit, but there were still some other things that for some reason they were just blowing right by me and I was missing. So I said, let's go talk to Jordan Smothers from Simpleshot. Simpleshot. Simpleshot.com down there. Remember, use the link. Let's go talk to Jordan because I've heard that he can get anyone on a target within a half an hour. So I went over to Jordan. I explained what was going on, and I went back to practice. A few minutes later, Mr. Dallas comes walking back to the shooting line, and I said, so what'd you find out? And he said, one, my stance was all wrong. Instead of having a nice, comfortable stance like you would in archery, he was like leaning forward like he was shooting a shotgun, doing skeet shooting. And you'll see him mention that in the video. And so he fixed the stance. He was shooting way overpowered bands and helped them out. So I'm not going to say a whole lot more at this point. I want you to watch the interview, and then we'll come back at the end with the rest of the story. So here's my interview with Dallas from the Midwest Spring Sling. Let her rip. Here we are at the tournament practice day, having a good time here, and I'm down on the practice line, which is behind me. We've even got a little dude down there shooting, which is awesome, and some guys that make me look stupid up there. But anyway, I'm down there. Come on in a little bit more, buddy. This is my new friend, Dallas.
Hello.
As soon as we get done here, he's going to go subscribe to the channel because he thinks I'm really cool. But anyway, I'm shooting, and poor Dallas, he's getting frame hits. He's breaking bands. He's a new shooter, obviously. How long you been shooting, Dallas?
Only for a couple years, off and on.
Only a couple of years? I've only been at 18 months. But you said off and on. I've been seriously hitting for a long time. So when I started, I didn't back down. Anyway, off and on, which means?
Maybe for like a couple days straight and then take a break for several months.
Okay, that's not the way to get consistent. Did you hear that? If you want to be good, don't take breaks. Shoot regular. Back to what we were talking about. Anyway, he's down here shooting, and he's hitting frames. When you hit a frame, you break a band. How many bands did you go through in 30 minutes?
3, or almost 3.
3 bands in 30 minutes. I go through a band in a couple of hours of nonstop shooting. So something's not right. So I tried to help with what I knew, and it sort of helped, but something was still wrong. So I went and found the dude from Simpleshot, simpleshot.com on the bottom. And Jordan, he's the guy that gets people on target. What did Jordan teach you?
Jordan taught me that my band set, or where I was holding the pouch, was wrong.
Okay, what were you doing?
I was pretty much gripping in front of the ball bearing, and it was messing up my shot. What he told me is to squeeze basically directly on top of the ball bearing and to pull back straight.
He was holding it up here, which is wrong. What you want to do when you got a bearing in there is you want to hold it in the back. And because if you hold it up front, when you let go, there's a chance it's going to hit a bump, and it's going to go whoop, and it's going to go boop, and then it's going to go boop, and then your frame gets beat up like that. So that was one thing. What else was wrong?
Pretty much my stance was wrong.
What were you doing?
I was leaning forward more like how trap shooters lean forward. They lean forward with like their shotgun, follow the bird. I was trying to do...
Slingshots don't have kick.
Yes.
They're not going to knock you on your butt. You do that because you're going to get blown on your butt if you don't do it. So he changed your stance. So we fixed the pouch. We fixed the stance. What else did we do?
Changed to a lighter band set. I was using 3/8 Simpleshot black bands. I'm new to shooting, so I thought lighter bands do better, but I also wanted some power behind it. And I've been told to use clay bands or these new pink ones.
Yeah, that's said I gave him. Anyway, he was using bands that were way too heavy for the ammo for what we were doing. Plus, they were such a hard pull that when you were back, you couldn't hold it still.
Yes.
And that's a problem with new. That's something that just takes time to figure out. So anyway, that was the other problem. And then I gave you a set of my real easy pull bands. And what was your first impression when you shot it?
I really like these. These are laser accurate.
They're nice, but he's had some frame hits. Look at this, folks. I don't know how, but he's shooting well still, even with that damage. Dude, when I get that damage, I retire it, but he's still shooting okay with it. That's nuts. So
Thank you.
Where do you go from here?
So from here, next I'll probably need to buy some more of this rubber and then make my own bands out of this material.
You need to learn how to make bands.
Yes. I need to learn how to make bands. I need to practice a little bit more on my technique. I'm somewhat accurate, but not totally accurate.
He'll be up there at the thing, and he'll hit that spinner 3 times in a row. Boom, 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 and then frame hit. So frame hits are getting farther apart, though, aren't they? So
when I first came here, I was getting frame hit after frame hit after frame hit. Went through a couple pointers. Now I'm hitting targets very consistently.
So are you going to smoke the amateurs tomorrow?
I hope so.
I thought you were going to say, not a chance. Kind of like me with the pro division. It's like, do I want to smoke them? Yeah. Do I have any delusions I'm going to have? Absolutely not. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a blast. We're in the practice day, and it's like I was telling somebody up at the line, I need to go make video. And I really don't want to. I'm just having fun. And that's what this is all about. There'll be some stuff tomorrow. I'll be showing some of the competition and junk. But thanks for being on, Dallas.
You're welcome.
Phillips Hobbies. Go subscribe. Tell them to go subscribe.
Subscribe to Phillips Hobbies.
It's easy to find. Phillips Hobbies. There's a picture of this hanging. Picture one of these on the front for the thumbnail. So you can't miss it. Get me to that 1,000 number. Then I can be a real YouTuber and not a wannabe. So anyway, thanks for joining me, Dallas.
You're welcome.
It was really cool, and I hope that the help we gave you really helps you do well
tomorrow. It did
tomorrow.
very well. Thanks.
So get some more practice. You got all day to get your arm tired in a blister.
Yes.
And you'll be good to go. Thanks, man.
You're welcome.
Okay, so he explained some of the things that Jordan helped him with. And even when he got back, he still, I think he went through, I think he said 3 bands in half an hour. He literally, I gave him one of my pink bands. He's like, "Ooh, I like these." And then he took 2 shots and broke it. And so I had brought a bunch of free bands that I was going to throw on the free table, things I don't shoot anymore, and some that people had given me when I bought a used slingshot. And so I just said, "Here, you need these." And I gave him like 15 bands that were pre-made that he can just do whatever he wanted with. And so anyway, I kept hanging out with him. We invited him to lunch with us that day, and we just hung out for a long time, and pretty much the whole day of Friday until we went to our hotel. And by the end of the day, he'd gone over, and I think he bought an Axiom, which wasn't quite as big, a little easier to handle. And he was shooting pretty well with that. And by the end of the day, it had been like an hour since he had had a frame hit. Yay! All right, now here's the rest of the story. Come Saturday, it's tournament time. The dude's a sniper. I'm telling you. He was doing really well in the amateur division. And when it came time to do the woods course, I did it early in the morning. He did it later in the afternoon. I actually went out with the clipboard and scored his group of about 6 or 7 people that were doing the woods course together. And the dude was hitting everything. It's like, "Dallas, you're killing it." He scored a 47 on the woods course. For reference, I sucked. I got a 34. But for real reference, Jordan Smothers, the guy that helped him learn to shoot on Friday and cleaned up some of his bad habits, only shot a 49. This dude was a sniper. Then comes the speed stuff. He did really well. And then comes the distance shooting. He did really well. And I went up to him and I said, "Dude, you might make the podium. You might make the podium." It's like, we'll see. So the award ceremony comes up later in the evening, and they're announcing the amateur division winners. They announced 5th place, no Dallas. They announced 4th place, no Dallas. They announced 3rd place, no Dallas. They announced 2nd place, no Dallas. And I'm saying, some of these guys shot pretty good. Was he better than them? I hope he at least, that would make me mad if he didn't place. 1st place, Dallas Martin. The dude went from hitting his frame, breaking 3 bands in 30 minutes Friday around lunchtime, to winning the whole amateur tournament. How cool is that? I punched my friend that was with me in the arm. I said, "We did it. He did it. He won." And I just wanted to jump up and shout because I was so excited. Because it's like, I told him later on, I said, "Dude, you're my newly adopted slingshot son." So I got a slingson. Slingson. Dallas Slingson Martin. That's what we should call him, Slingson. Anyway, he's my adopted sling kid now. I'm just super proud of him. I hope I'll get to hang out with him again, maybe at the tournament next year. But he won. And what was even cooler, Simpleshot. I told you we like Simpleshot. We're a brand ambassador for them now. Nathan Masters came up and talked to him later in the day on maybe it was Saturday afterwards, or it was Sunday before we all went home. And Dallas was telling him, "You know, I shot the whole tournament with one of your Simpleshot slingshots." I think he was using the Scout X. He likes the through the forks instead of over the top. So one of those is a through the fork slingshot. And that's what he shot the tournament with. And Nathan Masters turned around and came back and he said, you shot so good, you need a pro slingshot." And he handed him the metal pro version of the slingshot that he shot the tournament with. How cool is that? That's why I like Simpleshot, people. They're good folks. They got good quality stuff, and they just are really good. I got to know Nathan a little bit. I got to know Jordan better, and just support them, folks, if you can. Anyway, I wanted to tell you the story of Dallas Slingson, the Sniper Martin. Yeah, Dallas Slingson, the Sniper Martin. The sniper, not the sniper, the Sniper Martin. It was awesome watching him go from "I can only hit my frame" to winning the tournament in literally 24 to 30 hours. So that's the rest of the story. Thanks for watching, people. We appreciate you. I hope you enjoyed the story in this video. I know I sure enjoyed that interview. And keep on slinging, and we'll see you next time.